Hello, I'm Bryan Hutcheson, Sheriff of Rockingham County in the city of Harrisonburg, and thank you for joining me for this week's segment of the Rocktown Crime Report on rocktownnow.com. Today's Friday, July the 25th. Hopefully we got a good segment for you. What we want to do is start right off by looking at some arrest numbers. Hadn't done that for a little while, so we want to take a look at that and look at those numbers and kind of see, how the summer's been going so far in that looking along those arrest numbers. So as you can see here, what we looked at is a 6 week time period, and this is all local arrests. Anyone arrested and brought in by any agency to our facility here in Harrisonburg. There's a 6 week period. You can see the busiest week there, that week ending June the 21st was 103. Pretty busy week there. The lightest week was that week ending July the 5th with 82. But for that 6 week time period, you got a total of 556 arrests that were brought in. That averages out to about 13 total arrests per day, or about 93 total arrests per week, which is about standard for us. And then you can also see the busiest day, which is pretty busy for us, the 27, and that was on July the 17th. And then the slowest day, the lowest number there was the 7 on June the 28th, which is a pretty slow day. But all in all, looking at those numbers again, past 6 weeks, no real causes for concern. All pretty standard, not overly busy, not overly light, right down the middle. Considering, it is summertime. Sometimes those numbers tend to go up a little bit. But looking at what we see here over this past month and a half, nothing too wild and crazy, which is what we like. Keep it right down the middle, and hope for the best. But pretty good feedback, or a good view on those numbers that we like to see. Next up, we want to look at the question of the week. The question that came in is, what is the law on child restraints in Virginia? And I think maybe, or this could be a follow-up. If you saw, or if you didn't see our last segment, check it out. But we did a segment on some of the new laws that went into place in Virginia on July the 1st. And one of those new laws that kind of came in was it now requires all adults, no matter where they're at in the car. It used to be just in the front, but the new law from July 1st is now anywhere in the vehicle, adults have to wear a seatbelt. So maybe this is a little follow-up to that. I don't know, but it's relevant and hopefully informative. And the question is, what's the law on child restraints in Virginia? And nothing changed there, but still an important one. Got to have those kids in child restraints as required. So the law itself, and you can see this graphic we're putting up, but the law itself requires the child up until the age of 8 to be in an approved child restraint device. They have to be in one up until that time. And you can see here there's some different choices. This is kind of a guideline from birth up until 2 years old. A rear facing child seat properly installed is key also, but they have to be in a rear facing up till 2 or about 20 pounds. I've always heard that is a guideline. And then you go into that forward facing child restraint seat there, you see. Then you have the next level is where it's just that booster seat and it says 4 to 12, a general guideline there. Usually, again, 4 or 40 pounds was another rule of thumb we would always use, that you go to that booster seat in between that. And then you can see, well, at 8 is where you reach that point where if they're big enough, they can go to an adult seat, just wear the seatbelt like all adults wear. Or if it's a smaller child, then let them stay in that booster seat a little bit longer. Whether it's still 12 or not, who knows? But better to have them to where it fits right is really the key. But it's required until 8, and then there's some judgment calls, 8 or 80 pounds, or however you want to look at it after that. But good question, and very important to make sure those children are restrained properly in the vehicle at all times. So thank you for that question. If you have any questions, we'd love to get them in. Send them in to the news@rocktownnow.com. We'll try to get you in on another segment. So thank you for that. And next up, we want to talk about our inmate work crew a little bit. We have 2 inmate work crews that we run out of Rockingham-Harrisonburg Regional Jail. Usually what that consists of is 1 deputy and 4 inmates that go out and work on different projects in the community. The first thing to point out is it's strictly voluntary participation. It's not required. If the inmates don't want to be on it, they don't go on it. Strictly voluntary. It's incentivized. They get it's good for them in some ways. They get some benefits from it. And certainly us, that being the community, get some benefits out of it as well. So they've been doing what I feel is a great job really all summer on doing some projects, again, all over the county. So we just wanted to touch on that real quick and really show you a little slideshow of some of those projects that they've knocked out here so far this summer. So as you can see, a little bit of before and after. And first off, we got the bleachers. These are the bleachers that they worked on out at the Briary Branch Community Center. A pretty dramatic change there with their work on that. Next up is a curbside that they worked on in the town of Dayton. You see the before and after, a pretty dramatic improvement there. Here's just a vandalized sign in Elkton. You can see somebody spray painted it and they fixed that right up. Uh, I will point out on that, for vandalism, especially graffiti, we'll clean that up on private property. That's our only exception. Generally, that we'll only send the work crews out to work on government property for obvious reasons. We can't have them doing, work for private individuals, but we do send them out to clean up graffiti on private property if you ask us to. We'll do that service for the private, but everything else, all the other projects they work on are government property. So it's helping everybody, not just a specific individual, again, for obvious reasons. Next up, the before and after there of the roadside in the Pleasant Valley area of the county. Pretty big improvement there. And also we have a couple action photos of that work underway. The first one you can see here is them clearing some or cleaning up, power washing some picnic tables in McGaheysville. That is in preparation for the McGaheysville Lawn Party, which is going on, I might add. The parade is tonight, so come out and check that out. But they kind of help with a little preparation for that event at McGaheysville. And then another action photo that you see here is them cleaning up the roadside out in Elkton. And you can see a lot of good work getting done right there. So just wanted to kind of show a few photos of that. Sometimes a picture's worth 1,000 words, and you see that to talk about it's one thing, but you kind of see some of that work as it's being done, and a lot of improvements, a lot of good stuff from that program, and we're proud of it. So it's a mutually beneficial thing. It's good for the inmates, it's good for us, the community, and helping out with different projects like that. Another thing that I want to touch on with that too is that also we have an element of that with job skills, training, and placement. In the past, the inmate work crew has worked with the city of Harrisonburg's public works as well as Parks and Rec, learning again some skills and some training that might help them with job placement when they get out of here, which is what we like. Currently, the work crews are doing the very same thing: job skills, training, placement, even certifications with our friends up at Top Bead Welding. And again, the idea there is learn some things and have maybe a foot in the door for when you get out of here. You have some jobs lined up, different things, skills, training that you have to where you get out of here, you got a job, and that's what we want to see. That's what they want. Help them to not come back, right? Get out, stay out, and have a good job, and anything like this work crew that can help with that. Again, mutually beneficial things working out great. So just want to take that minute and brag on them a little bit about how well that's been going here this summer in our community. So touching on that, truly a win-win situation there. That's it for our segment for today. I will tease the next segment we'll do here in a couple weeks. We're going to do a Rockingham County Fair preview segment, talk about some of the stuff that comes with that big event. Always a great time of year, kind of the wind down to summertime. But make those plans for that now. Be thinking about it. It's the week of August the 11th, I believe. But we'll get in another Rocktown Crime Report segment before then, answer any questions that come in, and then maybe we'll even go out to the fairgrounds. But we'll cover some of those things, kind of preview what's going on out at the fair, and we'll be out there all week, and hopefully we'll see you out there. But we'll do another segment to talk about that. We'll do that then. But thank you for tuning into this segment. We'll see you later.